You're listening to If You Know You Grow the podcast. I'm your host, Chantel Braley, and I have over 15 years experience in marketing, e-commerce, and really all things creative. I'm so excited to take you behind the scenes of thriving businesses, hear from amazing industry experts, and chat a little bit about the mindset that it takes to really succeed in this industry. Please follow, like, and subscribe so that I can continue creating amazing content for you and sharing these incredible stories. Let's get into it. Good morning, everybody. It is bright early on a Monday morning, and I'm so excited because I've got one of my friends here. Some of you may know him as Jackson Mills, or more affectionately as Millsy. I will let him introduce himself, but I'm really excited to have you on the pod. Welcome.
Thank you so much. It is very early.
It was supposed to be a little bit later, but I have guests in today, and you're also my neighbor, so really you drove 3 minutes to get here, so it's fine. Can you please introduce yourself to everybody who doesn't? I feel like so many people on the pod will already know you, but anyone who doesn't know you, who is the great Jackson Mills?
Of course. Well, thank you so much for having me. My name is Jackson Mills. At the moment, I'm currently the co-founder of a company called Mateship, which we'll probably get into later. Going back a few years, grew up in Sydney, northwest of Sydney, working class family, went to university, studied security and intelligence. So it was very counterterrorism, international relations heavy. After graduating, went into cybersecurity, worked 2 years at Qantas. That was my first job,
I had no idea
working at Qantas.
That's why you get staff travel sometimes.
Well, I know someone that works at Qantas.
Oh, I'm like, why does this man get staff travel? Okay.
So how I got that, I messaged maybe 100, 150 people on LinkedIn with the word security in their title.
Yeah.
Just looking for a job. And someone responded and said, yeah, we'll give you one. So that's how that started, which was awesome. And then it was kind of easy to get a job after that because you had the logo Qantas on your resume.
Yeah.
People were like, okay.
So much street cred.
He kind of knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Then went into insurance in cybersecurity and risk. And then got offered a job up in Queensland, which is where we are today. So moved to the dark side in sports technology.
No, really, the better side?
Yeah, the dark side.
Look, at this point, we're 1-1, sir. So I don't know if we may not be friends in
3 weeks.
10 days from now. Is it two? What day is the game? Anyways, that's not really the point. But the next day of origin, we will not be friends for at least that evening.
That is true.
So,
Yeah, that's fine.
I boldly wore maroon in Sydney last week, like well and truly, like big puffer jacket, maroon top. Like I was one of 3 people. I gave no fucks. Yeah. It was fine.
Well, that's good.
Anyways, you can also tell that we like footy, so we will talk about footy. So then, you ended up in Queensland, and where did we go from there?
Yeah, ended up in Queensland working for a sports technology company.
Yeah.
So I love sport, so it kind of worked out really nicely that I could work in an environment where everyone else loves sports. I was really passionate about that. And then in the cybersecurity space, we were looking after some of the most elite athletes around the world. So we had LeBron James's data, Stephen Curry's data, like Tom Brady's data. And I was kind of responsible for protecting that from people that might want to steal it. So it was high stress, but very enjoyable, very fulfilling. And then there was an American company that bought us. So they moved operations to the States. Unfortunately, from that, redundancy came along, and then stumbled into what I am doing now at Mateship. So it's been an interesting trajectory where it was cybersecurity and then into e-com and technology.
I feel like with that though, maybe that kind of makes a lot of things make sense to me in the fact of like how easy everything has made sense, like with Mateship. So like full transparency, I use Mateship across a couple brands. I've done the Mateship integration. I've done a lot of technology integrations, and I've also seen a lot of technology come into the market, and everything has always been really easy. So that kind of, I guess, makes sense because you've had multiple touch points throughout your career with technology. So even if it was an e-com experience, you've had to consider a use case or a downfall with everything with that.
Yeah, exactly. You see how complicated it is to integrate technology.
Yeah.
And a lot of tech companies will put the onus back on the people that they're selling to.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be a 6-week integration. You're like, oh my God, why do you have to make it so tough?
Yeah.
Where our integration of your experience is like 5 minutes because we take on the difficulty, making it really easy for the user, which I think there should be more of. But
oh my gosh, there should be so much more of, because sometimes I'm like, if I can't figure this out, I don't have the time to read an entire integration like book. And at the end of the day, like so many of the brands that I think exist currently in Australia don't have IT teams. they may have an ecom manager that doesn't actually have a huge technology background. So the more complicated it is, like if I had to send it over to a dev to get it integrated, it would have never happened.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, super seamless. I do want to get into all the details about Mateship because I think you're doing something really exciting. But you mentioned you got your job at Qantas from sliding into DMs.
Yeah.
That is something that I know that you're very good at. What DMs have you slid into that are otherwise very exciting?
The biggest one that people know, well, that I've actually told the story about is Mark Cuban. So the guy from Shark Tank, kind of a hard ass in a way, doesn't
like
take any shit.
Serial investor.
Yes,
Yeah.
very good. So yeah, I just try and contact as many people as possible because you do not know what doors will open if you contact that person. And I'll get into how I did it in a second, but the outcome of that was I got to take a screenshot of him emailing me and then use that to get awareness around what we're actually building. Yeah. So it's kind of leverage in a way, but it was so funny. The thing is, people think it's like AI.
Well, I thought it was a joke, so I remember
That's right.
that.
Oh my God, I do remember that.
And I was like, yeah, Luke Combs is in my DMs too. Because on TikTok, like, do you use TikTok very much? So if you looked at my TikTok, you would think that Luke Combs and Tucker Wetmore are both, Wetmore, are both magically in love with me because I have so many DMs from fake Luke Combs and Tucker Wetmore accounts.
That's right. Just to give some background on this. So I posted it on LinkedIn. Yeah. You were the top comment, by the way. And it was a sarcastic comment saying, oh yeah, Luke Combs is also in my DMs. And I'm like, no. This is legit.
Yeah, I didn't think that it was real. And I think this was like really early in our friendship to where I knew that I could poke fun at you. Yeah. But I didn't realize that you were like, no, if I know that there's somebody that can help me, I'm going to find them, which I think is the best attitude.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people will wait for things to come to them. You really have to go out and get it yourself. Like no one is coming to save you, unfortunately. So you really have to take it upon yourself. And some of these people just have their emails on public. Yeah.
So how do you do it genuinely though? Because as someone, like, I get a lot of cold emails, right? And I don't actually know if we would have met via a cold email or how we would have met. I don't remember. But look, there's a lot of people that I block because I can tell that it's not very genuine. And I get that you're in a sales role. And if you've got something that's going to help me or support me, I will always listen. And then there becomes the point where I think it's just so not genuine that I just get turned really off it. And I have blocked so many emails that I've had the security filters in Gmail alert because I've blocked too many people at certain points. How do you frame that in like such a genuine way with like the intention with your outreach?
It's more so trying to understand what they're going through at this point in time or where they're coming from. Because if you're just, mass spamming people with a product that they don't actually need, well, you're going to come off, no one's going to really take you up on your particular offer. But with like the Mark Cuban one, for example, he doesn't need to help anyone. Like he's set, he's minted. Yeah.
He could do nothing for the rest of his life. He could do nothing
for the rest of his life.
So comfortable.
And
goals.
Yeah, he doesn't need to help anyone, but if he helps one person, that can change their life. So if you kind of think about how he thinks about things, how he approaches things, like I've watched him in documentaries, podcasts, Shark Tank, you kind of understand what his mindset is. And it's, if you have money and you have like success, what's left? Power and ego. So I just moved into that ego space and was just absolutely stroking his ego. I said, I've watched you, I've studied you, I've learned this, and this. And this is just off the back of, I won an award like Entrepreneur of the Year something like that. And the subject was, you helped me win Entrepreneur of the Year. And then I just said, I've watched all your documentaries and done this. You actually helped me do that. Did he? Maybe not. But for him to hear that, he'd probably be like, oh, okay. Yeah. I've actually helped this person. I'm going to give back. Yeah. So that's kind of how I framed it around him.
That's really clever though. And I think like at the end of the day, so many of the people who are very successful, they have to be ego driven. And I think often we think that that's a really negative thing. Yeah. But I don't think it is a negative thing. Like you've just got, whether you want to call it confidence or BDE or whatever, like it is tough to put yourself out there. And anybody who does it, like, I'm sure that there's some other greater good that Mark Cuban stands for. I actually don't know him well enough to know like what
he's doing. He's doing some good stuff.
Yeah. Like I would imagine there'd have to be like you meet so many cool founders where you're like, oh, I also do this because of XYZ. We were just at like a charity gala on the weekend, and a family donated $1 million to the cause. So there are people with money who, you know, will back incredible things. But I think there's also that, like, you don't absolutely work your ass off just for shits and giggles. Like, there's something else that it's giving to you. So that makes so much sense.
100%.
That would work. Yeah.
And another thing around that framing is I became friends with Beckham.
Yes.
That's David Beckham's son.
Yes, that's so good. I can't wait to hang out at the Beckham's house one day with you.
I know, literally.
Yeah.
So we were in LA at the time, and there was like a ruckus that came in. We were sitting in the corner of this bar. Massive ruckus came through. And, you know, I had no idea who the Beckhams were, never seen them. And then someone next to me went like, oh my God, that's...
You just would have known David because as a child you would have been like David Beckham. Yeah.
And they're like, oh, that's Cruz Beckham, that's Brooklyn Beckham, and then that's Brooklyn Beckham's wife, Nicola, who's like the third richest female in the world or something like that.
Yeah. Wild.
And you could see everyone was just like trying to get after them. But we were just wanting to have a drink and eat some food. And then eventually they came over to us, and they're English. So I started putting shit on them straight away, not knowing who they were. You know, English, they're shit at cricket, all this sort of stuff. And they've never probably experienced that. They experience people sucking up to them.
Yeah.
Where I was just going straight for the jugular, and they're like, wow, like what's happening here? And that's kind of how we bonded. It was over me just absolutely abusing them, or just banter.
Yeah.
Just friendly banter that they probably don't get to experience very often.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how how we became friends.
Well, I guess the thing, like, anybody who is famous, like, ultimately is a very normal person at the end of the day. And you can sit there and be all like weird and awkward around them, or you can just treat them like a normal person, and it's going to get you farther if you treat them like a normal person. 1,000%. I feel like I don't think I would have noticed Romeo, but I definitely would have noticed Brooklyn. Like, I would have looked at him and been like, I know who you are.
I had no idea.
Yeah. I think it's because of Nicola Peltz, though. Because, you know, she was Katara in The Last Airbender.
Was she?
Yeah. She did try to act. Money can't get you everything. So, you know.
It can get you acting classes.
It can. I think she's probably a better model than an actress. Although I did like the movie, but it's just because I liked The Last Airbender. Anyways, side note, you're really good at like all these little side quests. Like, I think like even the interactions that you've had have been because you've been at a little bit of it's like right place at the right time, but it's also putting yourself out there.
Yep.
Can we talk about your side quests? Because you are always doing things where I'm like, wow, you also do that. It's very admirable.
I'm a big believer in saying yes to the meeting. So a lot of people will just say like, no, don't have time, which I completely understand. I'm a big believer that, you know, just one conversation can open so many doors you have no idea. So it kind of, like, one of the side quests I did recently was on the Sunday Footy Show.
Yeah, so
I was
good.
talking with Billy Slater, Andrew Johns, and Brad Fittler about touch football.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of touch football player. I don't know if you can call it professional athlete or whatever it is.
So he's also a professional athlete. He does have a girlfriend. Sorry, ladies.
But yeah, so it's very hard to grow that particular sport because there's not a big marketing budget.
Yeah.
It's difficult. But we're still pulling numbers that match the Super Rugby and the NBL.
Really?
They've got big marketing budgets, and touch football is still pulling the exact same numbers.
Is Super Rugby just like people with too much money throwing money at it? Is that
they put the Super Rugby behind the Stan paywall.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
So that's one issue. But I'm just trying to figure out new ways to grow the game. So one of them was I just reached out to Channel 9. I did a bit of commentary with them in the All-Stars game. So before the Rugby League All-Stars, the Indigenous All-Stars game, there's a touch football version. So I put my hand up to do a bit of commentary for that. And then from there, I was like, well, let's try and do something else in the public sphere around talking touch or how it relates directly to rugby league and just sport in general. And they went, yeah, by all means, like, come on, you seem like you have kind of you can talk.
Yeah.
So that was one of the ways that we got on the show, which is pretty cool.
That's so cool. And then you've like also done like, didn't you do like another thing where you were like an announcer for a game as well? I feel like I'm picturing you behind like the glass and something.
No, that was commentary.
That
was commentary.
Okay,
so it was behind the glass, just talking smack. It'd be such a good job. Like, if I wasn't doing this, I'd love to just talk sport and get paid for it. I reckon it'd be one of the best jobs.
You could find the time.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Maybe.
Too big in the building stages. So with building stages of things, because I know you're very much in the building stage. I think the entire time I've known you, I've been able to watch this, and I have been in the industry long enough to where I watched Afterpay start from the beginning. I was having calls with Brad from Refunded before anyone knew what Refunded was. Like, I was the person where, like, because he was a friend of a friend, and they were like, just tell us everything that could be wrong with this technology. And I remember having those meetings and being like, wow, this is going to be huge. I feel the same way about Mateship. How did Mateship come about? What is the technology that you're building? Like what is this? Because I think it's so big, it's hard to explain, but it's so cool.
Yeah, well, I'm one of 3 co-founders. So there's myself, Sammy, and Daniel. We actually all went to high school together. So we found each other maybe 6 years later after school. We all did our own thing. Sammy was a lawyer. Daniel was in actuary studies and data analysis. And then I was in cybersecurity. And I was good friends with Daniel coming through school. And then one day, like when I was in Queensland, I realized I hadn't spoken to him for 6 months. Just gave him a call. And he said, like, oh, yep, I've quit my job. We're doing something new. And then I was like, this is really cool. Like, I want to be a part of this. And they needed someone who could talk smack. So
there we go.
There we
could
go.
Sell ice to an Eskimo.
It was kind of a nice fit. And the premise behind Mateship is Sammy and Daniel studied exchange during university at the University of Texas and the University of Florida. They weren't inclined in regards to what was good with fashion. They had no idea what to wear, but people around them, particularly in the US, they know how to dress. You'd know better than anyone.
So differently,
But they're really good at it. They're very thoughtful, methodical about what they're going to wear. And they were thinking like, I'm feeling really left out here. It would be really cool if we could see what our campus was buying.
Yeah.
We see ads, we see influencers. I'd rather see what actual people are buying.
Yeah.
Like in real time. So that's kind of where Mateship started. So now we're in a position where we've created an app, and it makes every purchase from a brand visible.
Yeah.
So it's not an influencer that promotes one product on a Monday and then promotes the competitor on a Tuesday. It's not an ad that looks exactly the same as every other activewear brand in the world. It's someone buying with their own money from a brand that they love, and it gets promoted to Australia.
Yeah.
Like, it's something that's really cool and it's really innovative. So you mentioned Afterpay and Refunded. The reason that they're so cool is because they hadn't existed before.
Yeah.
They're not just solving a problem, they're innovating in the space. So like a good example of that is if you've got an activewear set of tights, if you just put pockets on them, that's not innovative.
No.
That's a novelty.
Yeah.
Same with toothpaste. Like if you create a strawberry flavored toothpaste, that's a novelty. That's not really innovative. Create some tablet that I never have to brush my teeth again.
Yeah.
That would be cool. So Mateship's something new. It's not necessarily just solving a problem. It is at a bigger space, but it's something innovative, something new, something fresh that people are excited about and are engaging with quite strongly through the build stage. So that's kind of the background of where it came from. Just, I want to know what people are buying.
Yeah. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. Like, I think so. Like, I've been very lucky. Obviously, I've got brands that use it, and also Jackson showed me like certain parts of the platform, and it provides a lot of social proof, and I think that's cool. Particularly, I think there's certain verticals that this probably really puts on steroids for at a product level, and that would be like activewear or supplements, because social proof on an individual SKU level is huge, whereas I think fashion, it gives like brand equity, maybe not on a SKU level, but if you see like 10 people are buying something from All For Mimi, you could be somebody who's maybe outside of All For Mimi's demographics. Like, I well and truly am. Like, I'm 37. Like, I'm a little bit old probably for what, Sophia envisioned when she was creating the brand. But when I see certain aspects of the brand out, it's another point of discovery, because I likely am not following any of the influencers that they use.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think that's cool that, you're kind of creating community impact in a form that I haven't seen before, considering the fact that community is the biggest buzzword in the industry right now.
And ads are expensive.
Oh my God, they're so fucking expensive.
Ads are becoming more and more expensive,
Yeah.
and brands are spending money that isn't going as far.
Yeah.
So that's a challenge. And we can probably agree that word of mouth and social proof is still the strongest tool for conversion, and it's the cheapest. But where does it happen? It happens at dinner tables, coffee,
Yeah.
barbecues, you can't scale it.
Yeah.
There's nothing out there that shows it at scale. I mean, if you go into a brand's website, maybe in the bottom left-hand corner, they got, Chantel just bought the Keep That Pump leggings, from this particular suburb. Firstly, it looks fake.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's real or not.
No, I've been on websites where I'm like, I know that those aren't even your photos.
Yeah.
Do I trust that Steve from Balmoral has actually bought this?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's hard to trust. And in order for me to actually see that as a customer, I need to be on the website. Whereas all the brands that partner with us, Mateship's like an index. So you can see every single product that's being purchased in real time from all around Australia.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's really cool.
That's so cool.
And we've just put out a live purchasing map. So
yeah, I liked the live purchasing map.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool when you showed me that. It was like little bubbles, and it was so good to see like Sundays.
That means you're doing well.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, and I think that's also like that's the ego thing, right? From someone who works with the brands. I love the frequency that I see Sundays compared to Meshki, because I know Meshki is X multipliers larger than the brand, right? But to see that we're actually showing up in that radius, it's cool, because to me, like, it showcases potential.
It's awesome.
It's like people see it.
And for smaller brands as well, they can compete with the bigger ones because there's no ad spend. You're not spending ads. You're not paying to be on the platform. If you have one product that sells in 30 days and you have Meshki or Sundays that are doing multiple orders a day, if you get one and 50, they're still going to both appear on the map.
Yeah.
So it's really cool for like smaller brands, up and coming brands to get awareness and discoverability.
What is like the biggest thing that you like are learning so far in building this?
So as we touched on previously, I had a bit of a stint in the States. It was like 3-4 months.
Yeah.
And what I've noticed, the difference between the States and Australia is huge. Culturally.
I think we've spoken about this before.
And mindset. So the easiest way that I can break this down is the States, so the Americans, they will say, I want to be the case study. The Australians will say, show me the case study. So
that's so funny.
So the Aussies, sorry, go ahead.
Well, no, because I'm that person.
Yeah.
Like when I find new technology, like I'll be like, cool, let's fucking do it. I'll be your case study. Because I'm so big about like, I know that I know this, I'll back it. Like I want to make sure that we get the credit for it.
Exactly right.
I think that's just interesting, because that's actually my attitude with when I onboard new technology. Like I'm very bold to be like, I will be your case study. You're welcome.
So it's a massive difference. And I guess that's been one of the key learning lessons, has been the Australians are very slow to uptake or use any new innovation or new technology until they see their direct competitor benefit first.
Interesting.
Which is an insane thing to think about. But the Australian market is a little bit smaller than the States, where if you're in America, you need to act quickly.
Yeah.
You need to take on things that are new, take risks, because there's so much competition. You need to do things to try and get ahead. In Australia, you can kind of wait a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But for someone that's actually providing the innovative technology, it's difficult. It's really hard. But now that you have, I guess, a threshold of what some might say credible brands, Sundays, Meshki, Culture Kings.
Yeah, huge.
People follow.
Yeah.
So Australia is you watch first, you see the big guys go, and then you go.
I understand that when it's a high risk concept. I get it.
And it's a lot of money. I get that.
Yeah.
We don't,
But there's the lot of money I totally get. Like there's some tech that I have been like, I'm not going to adopt you first, because I know that it's going to take 300 plus hours of implementation. There's going to be warming. There's going to be testing. I'm going to need to pay for XYZ. Like there's going to be all of these things. But like, I remember asking you a couple times being like, where's the risk? What's the catch? What is that? And I think like, there's probably things on Mateship side where there's risk for you, but I actually don't think from a brand side, the worst thing that happens is I decide to turn it off.
Yeah, and why you're saying that there's no risk is because you're not paying anything to be on the platform, and it's a 5-minute installation. There's no locking contracts. If you don't like it, just turn it off.
Yeah.
So I'll say to the brands, what's your main concern here? A lot of it is, I got to speak to a few people. I'm not too sure, blah, blah, blah. But they'll make up things to try and not do it
I think
because
like
they're nervous.
we've had that when we're like, oh, let's do this. And I was like, oh, there's a bit of pushback from the founders at the moment.
Yeah.
Like, we'll wait, we'll pause, we'll do this. And I know I've told you like, oh, let's wait until we can see this brand do it. Cause I definitely get that portion of everything. Yeah, that's crazy. What's next for Mateship?
Well, we want to do like a bigger scale launch, if you will, with all of our partner brands, because the really cool thing about Mateship is that it is a network effect platform.
Yep.
The more brands in the network, the more customers in the network, the more valuable it is for everyone else. So if you look at Meta, for example, if you run a Meta ad, you're trying to get all of the other customers to buy from you that may be, community members of other different brands. Whereas Mateship, if you have Culture Kings, Meshki, Sundays, all email their customer base within a week, and then, 130 of the other Mateship brands as well, the liquidity that comes into the marketplace is insane. Because if you have purchases going left, right, and center, they're all going to be appearing on the map.
Yeah, so
there's a chance for new
discoverability,
new awareness for the brands, access to a whole new pool of new customers that you would have never gained access to before. And you're not just, sending an email to your own customer base, which is what normally happens with brands, right? You have a list, you email the list trying to get them to reconnect, repurchase from you. If you do that to yours, I do that to mine, and they all come into the same network, sparks will fly.
That's crazy. Because I think like you're never at a point as a brand where everyone knows about you.
No.
And I will always like remember this moment where I was chatting to someone, 40-year-old male, has 2 children, blah, blah, blah. No concept of who LSKD was. I'm like, how are you from Queensland and you have no fucking clue?
Yeah.
Like how? So like if there are other methods for discoverability, take the other methods for discoverability, because there's not everybody, like if not everyone in the state of Queensland knows who LSKD is, there's still opportunity to be discovered.
It's insane.
Yeah. And what's next for Millsy?
Personally.
Well,
I'm so bad at posting on socials.
You were really good for a while, though, actually. Like, you were really good for a while. I only realized that now that I haven't been seeing the vlogs and everything.
Yeah.
You missed your opportunity for a day in the life right now.
I know.
Yeah.
I can do it retrospectively. But, yeah, I really want to lean back into growing, like, personal brand on Instagram, TikTok, and even YouTube in particular. I was, good for a little bit. And then I started really to overthink it.
Yeah.
Like really overthink it. So I just want to get back into just posting about things that are good, bad, the ugly, to bring people along for the ride. Because it is kind of a new space for me. I'm not really big on posting, etc. But
you're confident,
I actually enjoy it. I really enjoy it.
What makes you get in your own? Because like I also get in my own head about it. What makes you like? What is it that?
I actually posted about this on LinkedIn the other day, where I found myself comparing with other creators on the platform.
Yeah.
And I know it's bullshit.
Oh, 1,000%.
They will post, get up at 4:30, drink their matcha, do their meditation, do a cold plunge, have another matcha, do another cold plunge. I'm like, that just does not happen.
No.
A real, like, in the grind founder is going to get up and then sit at their laptop for more than 12 hours a day. Mm-hmm. Like, that is what happens.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking, well, do people want to watch that? Do they really want to see what actually happens, or do they want to entertain the fact that there's this utopian style of founder startup life out there where they've got all the fancy cars, they've got the house, they've got all this? Like, that doesn't happen.
No. And this thing, if it is happening, it's happening at the expense of something else. And a lot of times they're actually stopping themselves from growing what they could be growing because of that. So that's one big thing actually about my personal socials is I could just post work stuff all the time. And then I realized majority of what I do is either highly strategic or under an NDA. So if I don't show every aspect of my life, I'm not actually showing the truth and the reality behind my life. And I want to show the fun just as much as I show the work, because in order to do the work, I have to have the fun. Like, I personally need that balance. And sometimes it does come with a cold plunge. But when I'm waking up at 4:30, it's not so that I can meditate and do all this other stuff. It's because if I don't physically wake up at that point, I'm not going to be able to do everything that I need to do in order to achieve what I need to do, because that's the reality of building something.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
And I think the only other thing is, like, you can only blame yourself.
Yeah.
There's no other aspects that are, hurting me posting. It's literally just me.
Yeah.
So I've been fortunate enough that we partnered with Orpha Mimi.
Yeah.
So Sofa Dofa. And I asked her, I said, hey, can I sit down with you for 30 minutes? And can you just brain dump on me around what it really takes to be posting at such a high volume? Because she's nuts. I have never seen anyone as good as her, particularly here in Australia.
Yeah, she's incredible.
She's killing it. And I have a recording of 30 minutes of just her and Bailey saying, this is what you need to do, this is what you need to do, this. And I haven't done it. Think about the amount of people. Can we have a private
viewing? I also need to watch this.
Think about the amount of people that would want access to that.
Yeah.
And I just haven't acted on it. So I really, I did drama and stuff at school and improv. Like, I love it, but I just, I'm getting back into it. Don't you worry. It's coming.
So, all right, Mateship the musical. This is what I'm hearing.
No.
I'm really sorry, boys, that I just pitched this idea. Daniel and Tammy are like, no. I think one thing that I really admire about you is your confidence and your just like genuine love of human beings. I think that that's something that really resonates, that you can really see through. But like, I love consuming your content, so I would say please do more, because I find it entertaining. I love hyping it up, and the only way that you're going to get anything out there is that's a hard thing. It's like frequency. It's frequency. Like, I hate that I pay attention to my reach, but I pay attention to my reach because I know that my reach is what drives awareness, and awareness is what drives my brand equity. And like, those are all things where, like, just as Mateship's a brand, like you are a brand. Yeah. Like Millsy is well and truly a brand. The friendships that you've made are via you.
And I think I still sometimes get sucked into the likes and the comments and all that stuff. But I think now it's kind of moved away from that necessarily, getting, the awareness side of things. So you should be looking at the new audiences that your content is hitting. Like, that's the most important, probably metric that, creators are looking at is, am I hitting new audience members?
Or even the like non-quantifiable, am I driving an impact that is immeasurable? Because I posted something a couple weeks ago, and like half the time I post things, I'm like, I don't sit and think like, is this driving impact? Because I think I just don't have the capacity to do so. And then people then created actions based on what I posted, and then it changed their strategies, and it made me realize, even when I feel as though I'm not reaching many, the value that I add when I have that small amount of reach means that I'm going to continue to show up with the same tenacity, because those, however many interactions completely outweigh if it had gone viral. Yep. Like, and so, what is I feel like it's very philosophical, but it's almost like, what is that greater good? If somebody wants to catch up with you about a side quest, because look, guys, we've got a footy announcer here. We probably also have a host of anything that you need. We've got a great podcast guest, and we also have someone who's on the edge of really great cutting edge technology. How could they find you? How do they get to you?
Instagram's first, a great start.
Yep.
Jackson Millsy.
We'll tag you in everything.
Easy Instagram handle.
Slide into your DMs now.
Yeah, please do it.
Yeah.
And LinkedIn as well.
Yep.
So professional, personal, it doesn't matter.
Stunning. Okay, so good. Well, I highly recommend reaching out to Jackson if it's not just for a laugh and a coffee. Also, local Balimba resident. I just told everybody. Everyone knows where I live. So there you go. You can go for a hot girl walk and have a coffee and talk personal brand. But also, I think like it's low risk technology, and it's something that's like really cool to try. And guys, like, this is 1,000% not sponsored. It's literally me wanting to support a friend, but also bring someone on who I think you're doing something inspiring. Like, building something from scratch is fucking tough, and you do it literally with a smile. Like, I've never seen you angry or upset. Like, legitimately.
I should start posting that.
Yeah. Well, look, no, it's a bit endearing that you're always happy. So even with me though, like, I don't get angry, I just get sassy.
Yeah. Okay.
So even then, it's kind of funny. So
I get you.
But thank you so much for joining.
Thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed it.
All right. Have a great rest of your week. Thanks, everybody.